According to a year in review I received recently from Sony, I played 127 individual games on the PS4 in 2020. That's just one console. Yup, I've got many, and 2020 wasn't even all that unusual for me. When I think of the total number of games I've played over the course of my life to date, the number has to at least be above 5,000 and maybe much higher. I bring it up because out of all of those games, I've never played a game quite like SuperMash, and its truly unique design deserves a lot of credit for that. It can't be easy to come up with a unique game, and even harder when the point of your game is to be a mixtape of Nintendo and Super Nintendo style retro gaming. This is a game about the sum of its parts rather than its individual elements. The core game loop is about taking two retro game styles, mashing them together to create a short game you then play to push the story forward and gather the things you'll use to expand your options. Each game is randomly selected, although you can make your own choices instead, and you probably will as you work to meet the various goals of individual customers and the overall story. The game is driven by an engaging plot involving the owner and workers at an independent video game store facing eviction on the same day they stumble across an unusual game console at a flea market. The console has 2 game slots, and by putting in 2 carts, it creates a mashup. Shoot 'em up in stealth, JRPG and action-adventure, that kind of thing. You'll complete the objective of each game, generally do a thing within a certain time frame, and check off main and side quests in the overall story. While you play, you'll unlock cards that expand the list of available options. There's also a gacha-style mechanic where you spend coins you acquire in the games for new option cards. You can save an individual game and share it through a short code to other players, and over time you'll build up a playlist of games that you personally find fun. If each of these games were to be held up on its own as an individual game that you'd buy and play, they'd be okay, sometimes good, but whether each game mashup is fun or an excellent representation of its genre isn't really the point. This is a game about enjoying the meta, celebrating the ideas, graphics, and games from decades past. That isn't to say the games are bad. I particularly enjoyed seeing the plots and mechanics get thrown together randomly, and the game intros were among my favorite parts. However, the fine-tuning of a platformer by Nintendo, for example, takes years of handcrafted design. You can't roll the dice and expect the same result. Nintendo's secret sauce, as it were, takes hundreds of people and several years to cook, so expecting a gourmet meal is a bit unreasonable. But fast food is good too, and the overall experience of playing SuperMash is a trip. SuperMash is in many ways perfect for the new VCS and its current audience, even if some of the individual gameplay moments end up being good rather than great. This game frequently surprises with its creativity, and it feels a bit like magic how it all comes together. If you are a retro game collector, you will find a lot to like, and the game itself works great on the VCS. Quick note that SuperMash does require you to use a modern-style controller or keyboard and mouse. The classic joystick doesn't work due to the need for additional buttons. Thanks for watching. I'll be doing more VCS game videos in the coming weeks, so if you'd like to see more, please consider liking and subscribing. I've also now secured a custom URL for the channel, so instead of a long line of letters, you can find me at youtube.com/mockduckplaysgames. Have fun.